And Omicron continues to dominate discussions talking about COVID-19 around the world. And joining us to talk more about that is a public health pharmacist, Biola Ajenifuja. She joins us from our Abuja studio. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me once again.
Now, Omicron is said to be mild up until now. Why are some hinting that it might not be sensitive enough to the vaccines?
Yeah, there's still limited data to really verify that claim. But preliminary studies have shown that there is an increase in transmissibility in those Omicron variant of COVID-19. But there are still limited data on it. So we can't really say if it's going to be it's not going to be the vaccine that we have at hand, like the biotech, the AstraZeneca, and even the Moderna. We can't really say if it's not going to be effective against the Omicron variant of COVID-19. Tests are still ongoing because it's a new variant, so there's limited data on it.
So, and even though the argument is there that there is that limited data, the decisions of some countries shutting off travel from parts of Africa, do you think that they're making the right decision, even if it's not scientific?
Yeah, in my own opinion, I think they are really jumping the gun. Because if someone can present, like the United States now, they've changed the recommendation. Now you have to present a 24 hours test, a 24 hours negative test before you can cross over to the United States and a certificate of vaccination. I think that's fair enough. But all the other countries that are busy shutting their gates, I think that's what they should do. Because this Omicron they were talking about, it's likely it has even been in existence for long. It's just that we're just detecting it now. Like the South African president said, they have been punished for being the first first country to detect it. So most likely is already in those countries, and they are shutting their doors to people that are not even having the variant. So what I think they should have done is people should present themselves with a negative test. Once the person has a negative test and has a certificate of immunization, I think the person is good to go and can be let into the country, so that we're not going to face what we had on the first wave, then where we started on the wrong foot, but before we could be able to curtail the pandemic.
Would it be right to say that the Omicron variant originated in Africa? And I'm asking this also based on when you compare what Omicron is to the other variants we've had, the Beta, the Alpha.
In my own opinion, I don't really think so. I think it's because it was first detected in South Africa, I think Botswana on the 11th of November, then 14th of November in South Africa. That's why, as the president said, they are being punished to be the first to detect it. I think it has been around. Okay, like yesterday in the news I heard in Thailand, they discovered a foreigner, and the foreigner didn't even have travel history to South Africa. The first case of Omicron was recorded in Thailand, and it was from a foreigner. And the foreigner didn't have any travel history to South Africa. So I don't really think the index country or the country of origin of that variant is really South Africa. That's my own opinion. So what I think we should all do is all hands to be on deck to just combat this. This is not the time to play blaming each other or trying to shut your door to people. But let's try and combat this the way we've done with the previous one, so that we can be done with this. And how can we do this? Is by increasing vaccination. And those that have been fully vaccinated should go for booster doses. Then work should still be ongoing to curtail this pandemic, because this thing is mutating. This Omicron is a mutated variant of the other ones that we've been having. So work should still be ongoing. We should not rest on our house, because everybody is being faced with this. It's not just an African thing, it's the whole world.
So essentially, sequencing is also, we understand, needed to identify as well as understand it. But from a diagnostic point of view, clinical presentation, is Omicron a problem for us?
No, not as the way the Delta variant was really a problem, because you can see it's not as if death cases are rising. Though there are more cases of it, that means there's more transmissibility. That's when people are having it. But the hospitalization and the fatality rate is not increasing. So I don't think it's that fatal So it's not something to really be concerned about. And so if we can stick to our previous preventive measure, because we've really relaxed on this, if we can stick more to our preventive measures and encourage people to go more for immunization, so everybody is going to be vaccinated, because once we have that, we're going to have herd immunity. And with that, we'll start talking about eradication, because we've done it before with chickenpox, with smallpox, and we are on it with polio, with polio. So we can still do it. So I think more advocacy should be done on vaccination, so that many people will become vaccinated, because once people are being vaccinated, there is a break in transmission. It reduces infection, it prevents the disease, and it prevents hospitalization. Even if there are going to be breakthrough infection, with vaccination, it's going to curtail that, and so we won't be having mutated variants of the
strains
of the COVID-19 virus.
We'd like to appreciate your time. Thank you so much, public health pharmacist Biola Janifuja. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine.